If you're a football fan, you already know about the FIFA World Cup and how exciting watching teams worldwide compete for the trophy is. Football lovers across the globe are well aware of the exhilarating FIFA World Cup, where teams from all over the world gather to compete for the ultimate prize. The thrill of witnessing top-notch players giving their best shot is unmatched. It is undoubtedly the most celebrated and renowned sporting event on the planet. Every 4 years, 32 nations come together to display their skills, and fans from around the world gather to cheer on their favourite teams. The passion and energy on the pitch are truly unmatched, making this event the most watched sporting event globally, with millions of people tuning in. However, amidst all the excitement, there have been some unfortunate incidents where players have lost their lives while competing for their nations or because of the tournament. These tragic events serve as a sharp reminder that football carries risks even at the highest levels. Just like any other sport, it is a sobering reminder that the players we watch and admire are real people willing to pay the ultimate price while representing their countries. Andrés Escobar. The FIFA World Cup is more than just a competition, it's a celebration of international sportsmanship that brings players and fans worldwide together. However, there have been instances where the passion for the game has taken a dark turn. One such instance was the tragic death of Colombian defender Andrés Escobar during the 1994 World Cup. Colombia was considered a top contender to win the competition at the time. However, in their first group match, the United States defeated them thanks to Escobar's unfortunate own goal. This mistake would haunt him for the rest of his life. Enraged Colombian supporters subjected Escobar to a barrage of abuse and threats. Less than 2 weeks later, he was assassinated outside a restaurant in his hometown of Medellin. The exact motive behind his death is still unknown. Still, it's believed that it may have been related to the organized crime rings that run the Colombian soccer betting industry. Escobar's death was a tragic reminder of the dangers of soccer fanaticism. One small mistake on the field ultimately cost him his life, and he will forever be remembered as a gifted defender who paid the ultimate price. Marc-Vivien Foé. Unfortunately, tragedies like this aren't limited to only the World Cup. World Cup preparation matches, as the Confederations Cup, has also claimed lives. During the Confederations Cup in 2003, the Cameroon national team made history by advancing to the semi-finals. However, their triumph was overshadowed by a tragedy during their match against Colombia in Lyon, France. Midfielder Marc-Vivien Foé, a beloved teammate, suddenly passed away in the 72nd minute of the game. Despite the quick actions of medical personnel, Foé could not be revived and passed away at the stadium's medical facility. The devastating news was broken to the team by captain Rigobert Song, and it left everyone devastated. Foé's death was caused by an undiagnosed case of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a condition characterized by enlarged cardiac cell muscles that thicken ventricle walls. It served as a reminder that even the most talented and healthy athletes are not immune to serious health risks. Sam Okwaraji. Sam Okwaraji was more than just a talented football player. He was a true gem of Nigerian sports. His exceptional skill and intellect shone brightly during the 1980s when he played for several European clubs. But in 1988, he returned to his homeland to play for the Green Eagles, Nigeria's national soccer team. August 1989 was a time of intense competition for the World Cup qualifying rounds. Nigeria faced Angola in a match, which they won 1-0. However, the game was marred by tragedy: the sudden death of Sam Okwaraji. The Angolan player's red card was the first sign things would get out of hand. He refused to leave the field, which caused an uproar among the players. Suddenly, Okwaraji fell to the ground, surrounded by his teammates protesting the referee's decision. Despite their best efforts, the 25-year-old player tragically passed away before medical help could arrive. The cause of his death was later determined to be an enlarged heart and excessive blood pressure. The loss of such an exceptional player profoundly affected Nigerian soccer. It dashed the country's hopes of competing in the 1990 World Cup. Many key players left the squad due to anxiety and uncertainty following Okwaraji's death. The team was ultimately disqualified from the competition. A statue of him has been erected outside the stadium to preserve the memories of one of Nigeria's finest players. Zambian national team. FIFA World Cup and other international soccer competitions celebrate sportsmanship and camaraderie. Still, we must also recognise the risks that come with participating in sports and take steps to prevent them. However, it is not only on the pitch that these tragedies occur. Sometimes the loss is not limited to one person. Take the Zambian national team of 1993, for instance. The loss of the Zambian national team in the plane crash of April 28, 1993 was a devastating catastrophe that rocked the football world. The team had been flying to Senegal for the World Cup qualifying match when the plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, killing all 30 people on board, including 18 members. The tragedy left the Zambian people in deep sadness and mourning. The players were buried outside their stadium in Lusaka at a location now known as Heroes Acre. It took 10 years for an official report to provide some answers, and the results were a terrible blow to the nation. According to the report, the aircraft experienced a problem, and the pilot, who had just completed a long journey the day before, was quite exhausted. A mechanical issue in the left engine set off a series of events leading to the jets losing power and crashing. The pilot made a deadly mistake after being informed of the engine issue. He shut down the other engine, which was the only one still operating, instead of turning off the problematic engine. The results were devastating. Further reports showed that the plane was not designed for long travel and had been previously grounded, but whether to cut costs or oversight, the team used the plane. When the pilot turned off the engine that was working, it was because the plane was showing that the active engine was faulty and recommended that it be turned off. The exhausted pilot pushed the button and ignited the tragedy. Understandably, the families of the victims were angered and accused the government of being grossly negligent, demanding an apology and additional compensation from a member of parliament. After all, if they had provided a plane that was still in good working condition and appointed an energetic or well-rested pilot, the disaster would have been avoided. The loss of the Zambian national team is a steady reminder that safety is paramount and that things should never be taken for granted. It is also a testament to the resilience and strength of the Zambian people, who have continued to honour the memory of their fallen heroes and continue to strive for excellence in the sport they love. The devastating plane crash claimed the lives of 18 members of the Zambian soccer team and left the nation reeling. The loss of so many talented players dealt a severe blow to the sport in Zambia, but the team and the country eventually recovered. It was a long and difficult journey, but the Zambian national team fought its way back to prominence. In 2018, they earned a spot in the World Cup for the first time in their history. It was a momentous occasion for the team and the nation, a testament to their resilience and determination in the face of tragedy. However, the memory of that fateful flight and the lives lost will never fade. We honour the memory of those lost in the crash by continuing to play and enjoy the beautiful game of soccer. But we also remember the lessons learned from this tragedy. May their memory be a blessing and a reminder to us all to live our lives with care and caution and never take our safety and well-being for granted.